Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. And a heavyweight news mashup video today, starting with WBC champion Deontay Wilder, who's targeting starting his training camp at about New Year's Eve. So he says, "I can't wait. I had a beautiful vacation. We met Pope Francis. It was such a tremendous honor. I got to stand in the Colosseum. Man, the whole journey was just checking off bucket list items. My mind is right now. Now we ready to add my next highlight, baby. I've been holding the heavyweight division down when it comes to excitement. Whatever Tyson Fury wants to do with his career and whoever training him, all he is doing is preparing him to be added to my career highlight reel." And Wilder goes on, talking to BoxingScene.com, saying, "Everything I throw will hurt. I can't wait. It will be an amazing fight, an amazing night. All the work we put in this camp will all lead to adding to my collection of memorable knockouts." That's Deontay Wilder talking to BoxingScene.com. It'll be interesting to see what happens now, because we're actually less than 2 months out from that rematch, which is meant to take place on February the 22nd, 2020. So that the clock is ticking down. Wilder is going to start his camp about New Year's Eve or so. Fury has stated he's looking to start his camp early in the new year in Las Vegas, yet the fight has not been announced yet. So maybe they are looking to clear Christmas. Maybe they will announce it after Christmas but before New Year. You would imagine they want to announce it soon to give them the maximum amount of lead-in time to promote the fight, because Bob Arum's been talking about 2 million pay-per-views, all that sort of stuff. I don't see that happening, but they do need enough time to make sure they promote it adequately, get casual fans interested, because boxing fans, most likely hardcore boxing fans, will buy the pay-per-view. They'll be watching this because it's a big fight in the heavyweight division. But others, if they don't get sort of exposed to it through TV and other sort of, mediums these days, if they don't hear enough about it and don't get interested, well, they won't purchase it. And they want this to do as well as possible. First fight did about 330,000 pay-per-view buys there or thereabouts. Surely they want to at least double that amount. Moving on. Daniel Dubois is warning Joe Joyce not to take too much confidence from their previous sparring. So Dubois says, "He was preparing for the Olympics and I was a young kid trying to find my feet and find out what was what. We sparred plenty of rounds. We gave each other headaches. I was a young kid, 17, 18, and he was going to the Olympics and I was holding my own. There has been progression since I turned professional. I have excelled leaps and bounds, but those sparring sessions don't count now." And on his year this year, he says, 2019 has been a breakthrough year for me. Next year will be another breakthrough year for me. More great nights to come. I'm going to give my all and see where I get to at the end of the year. And I guess in terms of the talk about the sparring with Joyce, I would be quite interested to know how that actually went. Joyce has obviously said a few things where he thought he held his own against Dubois and takes confidence from that. But Dubois, he's right. 3 or 4 years ago, that is a long time, especially for a developing fighter like Daniel Dubois. And I did see a poll that Frank Warren had run on his Instagram story, who would win in that fight. And it was effectively 4-1 in favor of Dubois. So make of that what you will. Joe Joyce has a lot of experience from the amateurs, and he's got nearly as many fights in the pros as Daniel Dubois, so I wouldn't be completely writing him off. He would certainly be a massive step up for Dubois from what he's faced so far. But obviously Dubois, big puncher, accurate puncher, good jab, a big right hand. There's a lot to like about where Daniel Dubois is going in the heavyweight division. And Tyson Fury, he's actually gone on social media to say, look, now that Marco Huck has been injured and pulled out of the fight with Joe Joyce, that Joyce and Dubois should be next. Here he is.
Hi, this is Tyson Fury, aka the Gypsy King. I just heard that Joe Joyce is fight off with Marco Huck for the European title. So maybe Joyce can fight Dubois for the European title. That'd be a fantastic matchup. A great one.
Tyson Fury's new trainer, Javan Sugar Hill, aka Sugar Hill Steward, believes that Vladimir Klitschko could come back to the heavyweight division and have success. He told WBN it's up to him. He had a long career, but he hasn't had a lot of damage done to him as a boxer. His last fight was his greatest fight for me, in my personal opinion. People will remember him by that fight because he showed heart. A lot in that fight, which we never saw before from Vladimir. I know he's probably most proud of that fight himself. He's always going to be a factor. He'll always be a big factor with the big boys. He is Vladimir Klitschko. You can't take that from him. His last fight, like I said, it wasn't like he looked old and tired, like he didn't have it anymore. He looked every bit in the fight the whole time until the stoppage. I don't think you can sit and say Vladimir's washed up, because he can still hang with the big boys. He's a big boy himself. And Vladimir Klitschko's last fight was 2.5 years ago now, in April 2017. That was against Anthony Joshua. Ultimately lost that one by stoppage. That was in the 11th round, although he had Joshua down earlier in the fight and in all sorts of trouble. And Klitschko did get a lot of shine from that performance because he did show heart and determination, but ultimately it wasn't enough. And now he's, 43 years old, soon to be 44 in March. And there will become a point where Klitschko teasing the comeback becomes just pretty tired and played out. And for me, it already is. But I know a lot of people are interested to see if he comes back. And if he does, who's he going to face? Because he probably would have something left against a certain type of fighter. But I'm not sure he can hang with the sort of, the best in the division now at close to 44 years of age. Although he keeps himself in shape. I know there's divided opinion on whether Vladimir Klitschko should come back and how much he would have in the tank should he come back. Remembering he hasn't had a win in the heavyweight division since 2015. He's now on back-to-back losses to Tyson Fury and then Anthony Joshua. Efe Ajagba says that he will learn from the experience fighting Iago Kaladze. He hit the deck in that fight, but ultimately went on to stop Kaladze in the 5th round. It was a very fun fight. Kaladze hurt pretty much right throughout on wobbly legs, but still coming to fight and flooring Efe Ajagba in the 3rd round. So he says, when I got knocked down, I didn't see the punch coming. I tried to hit him with a left hook, and that's when I got caught. He has a lot of experience, and he's a good fighter. This is the kind of fight that will help me perform better in the future. This guy was a good fighter, and he can take a lot of shots. I missed a lot of shots. Ronnie Shields, my trainer, kept telling me to work behind the jab and come back with the hook. It's something that I have to learn to do. I made some mistakes. I will go back to the gym and work on it. I'll do better next time. And I think it was clear from that fight that Ajagba certainly does have a few things he needs to tighten up on, defense being part of that, but also variation. There was a lot of 1-2, and he did become a little bit predictable. And Kaladze was able to evade for decent stretches of that fight when maybe Ajagba could have finished him off. But it was a good fight all the same, and I'm sure Ajagba will learn from him. Journeyman Lucas Browne is refusing to reveal why he walked away from a fight with Demsey McKean. McKean had come out on social media with evidence proving Lucas Browne had signed to fight him, but seemingly Browne had pulled out. Browne then responded on social media with a video, but it didn't have any sound, leading to McKean posting a video himself imitating Browne, and I'll play that at the back end of this video. But Browne on social media was asked by someone, "Hey buddy, what happened to your fight next year? No money in it. Think it was Demsey McKean." And Browne says, "I'm not talking about it, mate. A lot going on." So whatever happened with that video with no sound, Browne hasn't really explained that either. He ended up deleting that video. So clearly he's not interested in explaining himself to fans, and he has actually in recent years been very sort of big on sort of slamming Australian boxing, saying there's no money in it, but seemingly a fight between him and McKean would be the biggest heavyweight fight for some time, and it could be a good spectacle and good for Australian boxing, but seemingly he has walked away from it. And Demsey McKean's promoter, Angelo Di Carlo, believes that he could be going to fight somewhere in the UK in 2020. But just finishing with that clip from McKean, if you haven't seen it. So this is not Lucas Browne, but this is McKean doing a trolling expert level of Lucas Browne, offering an explanation of why he isn't interested in fighting Demsey McKean. Enjoy.
Yeah, g'day guys, Lucas Big Daddy Browne here. How you going? Anyway, as a lot of you know, I had to withdraw from the Demsey McKean fight. Just here to give you a quick explanation why. Yeah, alright. Yeah, pretty scared, to be honest. Very scared. I'm afraid if I go down pretty badly in this fight, which is inevitable, probably never going to get a fight ever again, to be honest. So that's the main reason, yeah. And I'm a bit of a bitch, yeah, pretty much, yeah. I'm pretty scared, bit of a bitch. And please, people, stop writing nasty comments. I've had to block and delete like 60 people a day. So yeah, there you go.